Off as a fucking terrorist, a fucking pedophile, sympathizing fucking terrorist.
It was our job to help law enforcement. It was our job to help law enforcement. It was our job to help law enforcement.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Hello, hello, hello. All right, welcome in everybody. Happy Friday. Today's October 3rd, Friday, October 3rd for those of you on the live stream. Now, if you're on the replay, who knows? Go ahead and leave a comment down below and hit the like button. Appreciate that because everything you do helps us keep moving forward. And that's what we want to do. Here, we're here to have a good time and to share our opinions and thoughts on things. So welcome on in, enjoy yourselves, grab something to refresh yourselves with, and come on in. Join the live chat or the comment section. I really appreciate having you all here. Wow, today's been a really long day. And honestly, I'm exhausted. I really am exhausted, but I'm glad to be here. And we got a lot to talk about tonight. And tonight should be a pretty decent, time, especially for those of you in the chat. Hey, have at it. enjoy the chat. Enjoy yourselves in the live chat. We're not going to censor you here very much, okay? Unless you come in here abusive, enjoy yourselves in the live chat. That's what it's there for. And the comment section is just always so amazing. So if you're on the replay, check out the comment section and leave your thoughts. And hey, in this channel, the most amazing thing is that in all the videos and live streams, the comment sections are just amazing to go read. So if you haven't gone lately and checked out some of the comments in the comment sections in the past few shows, go and check those out. People are really adding a lot and having a lot to say. So I like it. And you might too. But that being said, tonight's going to be somewhat of a different show. I had something else planned for you, but it didn't work out. Okay. And this, this has been an epidemic, and I want to stop and say something before we get started. And this is going to be something for you to think about. Okay. Especially those of you who are not very familiar with the Delphi case. Someone please tell me, why is it that the most important guests that I ever have on or ever have lined up to go on and things that I've been working on for months and months and months, why is it that always fear strikes their hearts and they always second guess? And what it appears is that they're afraid. They're afraid of the very things that you've witnessed me exhibit to you repeatedly over the last 3 years, which is that there is an inordinate amount of harassment, smearing, and gang stalking that goes on when you say important things about this case. And it's really amazing. And, out of respect for those individuals who are so important and are on the inside of this, I think you all should know that, well, I'll say, I'm not going to mention their names, but I'll give some examples. One of the most important witnesses in this entire case I have spoken with, and they themselves are at the center of a lot of harassment, intimidation, and abuse, which has repeatedly kept them from stepping forward to talk with us. And then there's another person who, I'll put it this way, is one of the experts in this case, who you all should be very familiar with. And this expert, although they will speak to me behind the scenes and their initial intention was to come and speak to all of you, things have taken place that has sidetracked that effort. So although they have so much incredible information to add, perhaps the most important information to add, that's been derailed. And then tonight, the intention was to have someone who I've attempted a handful of times to have come on and share with you very, very important things. And just every time, and this is going back for a year, every time the day approaches, I think hesitation strikes. And It all goes back to display to you this culture of fear that I describe. This culture of fear. And it's really sad. It's really sad because whenever is the truth going to be told about this case? By the people on the inside who actually know the truth. It's really disappointing, and it makes it difficult to keep going forward. But I decided rather than canceling the show tonight, I would come on and do something different. But that's where we are. And so anyway, I'm glad that all of you have come. We got a couple things to look at. And since we got a lot of complaints about me saying hello to everyone at the beginning of the show, I decided I'm going to do that because I'm not here to please anyone but the people who participate in this channel. And the people who participate in this channel are the ones who I want to say hello to. And I'm not going to let the criticism and the whining about it stop that. So might as well just say hello to everybody at the beginning tonight because I'd like to. And hey, a special shout out to Rick Snay. I know he's busy right now, but shout out Rick Snay. Hope you're good. Can't wait to talk to you and have you on. And let's see. There's another shout out I wanted to send out, and I can't remember now. But anyway, what up, Rick? And anyway, I'll get into saying hello to everybody. I'll turn the live chat on here. All right, so we're going to start with Heather Brown, Hebby, who is here. What's up, Heather? 4 pit bulls across America. Josh is here. Good to see you. Quad Axel Mimi is here. What's up, Quad? Pertinent is here. Dieter's here. Carol's here. What's up, Carol? Dirty Diana. Hello. Hey, shout out to Diana for helping me with the Twitch channel. We'll talk about that momentarily. Oleg Katz here. Hey, Oleg. Sweet dude Shibby. Hello to you. Good to see you last night, too. All right. Carla Ann. Molly. All right. Who else is here? Old Mort Newmort. Hello to you, my good friend, Old Mort Newmort. Who else? Rebecca Ann. What's up, Rebecca? All right. Dieter. Oh, I said hi. Hey, Fur Baby Daddy's here. What up, Fur Baby Daddy? All right, Nicole Watt. Hey, Nicole. Granny D. Super hello to you. Okay. Oh, hey, Christina. What's up? All right. Tell me if I skip anybody. Yolanda, Pink Rosie. What's up, Yolanda? Anna Paula Baxter. Hello. Trial Junkie. Hey, Trial Junkie. What up? I'll put that one up here. Found a note interview at 4 Pits and Silky. It's on my page. What an eye opener. Yeah, my 2 favorites. Okay, my 2 favorite YouTubers. 4 Pits and Silky. Shout out to Silky. God bless Silky. I miss you. All right. 4 Pits. Carla Ann. Jotun Yeager. Gretchen. Hey, Gretchen. What else we got in here? Sunflower Soul. What's up? Lisa. Hey, Lisa. All right. And anyone else I'm missing? Nancy Drew 101. Hey, Nancy Drew 101. Muty Silence. Hey, Muty. Another favorite of mine. Muty Silence. Okay, who else we got? Goddess. Hey, Goddess. Pam Sheehan. Hey, long time no see, Pam. What up, Pam? All right. Becky B33. What up, Becky? All right. Anyone else? Anyone else? Don't want to miss a soul. Okay. I think I caught everyone. So, hey, welcome on in. If you're in the lurker crew, stop being weird. Stop hating. Just come on and talk to the people. You might not want to talk to me, but you can talk to the people. They're good. All right. Good to see everybody. So, it's funny deal. Funny deal. Last night's Twitch stream, I goofed. I didn't hit the record button, so it did not record the stream. So that stream is on off into oblivion. So if you were there, you caught it. If you weren't there, well, we've all missed it because there's no way to go back and catch it. But I tried to fix that. So from now on, when we do the Twitch on Thursdays, it's going to record that. So I'll be happy to have that as well, so that you can go watch replays. I figured that one out. But as of now, there's no replays on there until we do the next one. So it's pretty good. And I think that catches us up. Okay, I think it does. Anyhow, like I said, it's been a very busy week, a really busy week. And today has just been an insane day. But I told a friend earlier, I went and I found the most beautiful plant. Okay. I found the most beautiful plant that I'm going to try to figure out a place for it here because as you see, there's too many keyboards. So the keyboards are taking up all the space back in this corner of the studio. So I'm going to have to make some room. But yeah, so I had a good day, but I did achieve a couple things, and it was an absolutely long day. And now we're at the end of the day. So I'm already exhausted, but I'm going to try to keep perked up for you. And I think that's about it. I think that's about it. So the program for tonight, I decided what we should do is because I'm very well aware that not everybody goes over to the Substack to check that out. So I thought, hey, I know a good thing we could do tonight is we could step through some of the Substack, a portion of it, so you guys can get an idea of what's over there, and you can just have at it in the chat while we do that. And if you're already over there, it's kind of going to be a repeat for you. But for those of you who haven't gone over there yet, it'll be an introduction to the Substack. So I would like that for you to be introduced to it if you're not already familiar, because I'm going to be publishing more articles. I'm working on 2 right now. That one I plan on hitting send this weekend. So there'll be a new one this weekend. And then one probably early next week in between our shows. So we got 2 coming up that are currently in progress. So this will give you an opportunity in case you want to be in the notifications or up on that. It'll get you ready for that. Okay, so that is that. What else? Man, there's a lot of news hitting the airwaves in so many ways. There's a lot of news hitting the airwaves. And I guess how would I wrap my mind around that? Let's see, there's a lot of news in the news cycle hitting the airwaves that's very important. And there's also news behind the scenes. There's good news behind the scenes that I'm not necessarily able to share with you, but there's good news behind the scenes. And so for all of you people following Delphi, just be encouraged. There is good news behind the scenes, but there's privacy in all of this, so we don't want to violate privacy and trust. But there's some good news behind the scenes, so that's good to know. And so trust me. Hopefully I've earned your trust over time. I mean, despite what the people try to do to smear me and discredit and erode trust from the community and me, hopefully you have some trust in me and understand there's some good things afoot. So I guess that's it. But everybody, please welcome the new mod. We got a new mod in here, Jotun Jaeger, a friend of mine and a good person. And so we'll shout out to Jotun Jaeger and welcome him to the mod ship. Okay, please do welcome him to the mod ship. He's part of the family, so please welcome him on in. It's been a long time coming. So that's that. So let me get situated here and I'll bring this on up. Okay. Let's see. All right. So this is the Substack. Okay. Now it's over at Read the Prof. Okay. So Read the Prof at Substack. That's what we're dealing with. Okay. So if you're not familiar with Substack, it's very easy. You just go over to substack.com. Okay. At Read the Prof. You can see it here. Do you see? Do you see what I'm highlighting here? At Read the Prof. At Substack. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you quick kind of how it works because oddly enough, it is social media. It's kind of odd. It's more like a magazine, but it is social media. So let me show you what I mean. So you see how here we got the links to the YouTube, to the X account. Okay. And then you can see that there's also a comment section. You see that? So there's a comment section. So you see here, Adrian's left a comment. Shout out to Adrian, right? And there's a bunch of comments. You know, I can show you a few. Well, this is sequential, so it's showing my postings in between comments and all this. But you can see kind of what I'm talking about here. You see? It's kind of like social media is what I'm saying to you. So there's that. All right. And now I'm going to show you, let's do some articles. Okay. Let's do some of the articles. For instance, you might remember this one. This is one that I have featured on a recent episode. So, so if you take a look at this one, I'm not going to belabor the point too much. But I'll show you what you will find over there. Okay. Delphi murders Roblox video. Sadistic secret code, sick, perverted, and potentially revealing guilt knowledge. This, as you can see, was published on July 1st, 2025 is when I posted it. July 1st, 2025. Okay. And it's kind of an instructive or an instructional article here. I say these screenshots establish context for the Roblox video and some relevant information about the platform. And what I do is I'm sharing a bunch of social media posts and commentary, setting up context for the Roblox video. Okay, that's what this is. And you'll notice, like, if you go in here and I click on it, if I were to click on it, you know, it'll bring it up where you can read it very well. Can everyone see that? So all it takes is a click, and then it brings up the particular screenshot, and you can read through them. So it's very nice. It's like a community page, but better, you see? Anyhow, and then you can also see how if you go past the screenshots, then there's other things. For instance, here, I say the following series of screenshots lays out the series of events that led to the re-release of the video. You'll see that on April 10th, 2025, In Light in the Dark made a live stream demanding that those who were secretly holding the Roblox video make it public. And then you see I give the receipts for what I am claiming, as I always do, despite those who say I never do receipts. Here you go, see? This is the receipt with the date so that you can confirm the date that I was alleging. um, and I stepped through all of the series of events with the dates. As you know, you might notice that you see the go through everything strategically. Um, and so the nice thing about this is I can put the receipts and I can also write. So you'll see that after I post a series of receipts laying out the narrative that I'm trying to explain, you can see that I can write about it, you know. And I continue with all the receipts before I get into the meat of it. Okay. You see? And this is what I'm meaning, that it's just a good place to be able to accurately lay out different ideas. So there's tons of receipts on this particular one, but what you're about to see is it's not all about receipts. Okay? Because this one is particularly that way. But you know, there's another one. Let's go to this one. Why honesty is so critical in true crime circles. This was July 15. See? July 15, 2025. And this one is more of an article than a series of slides. So whether someone is reporting through a podcast, documentary, or internet article, their relationship with the greater audience and their own diehard fans ultimately depends on trust. Long-term reputation matters. A content creator who builds trust through transparency, honesty, and accuracy will earn a long-lasting and loyal audience. One who gets caught inserting themselves into a case, berating others, using their sexuality to achieve their ends, or distorting facts can permanently lose credibility. Fact-based reporting allows for informed interpretation. Trustworthy reporting gives the public tools to engage critically, discuss justice reform, and understand systemic issues. Transparency and integrity is key in this arena. Altruism. True crime coverage can have value far beyond entertainment. It can impact real-world safety, policy, and justice outcomes, which is our goal here. Raising awareness about real threats, honest coverage of crimes like catfishing, murder, cyberbullying, stalking. I would also add nihilistic, violent extremist accelerationism, domestic violence, or serial offenders can alert the public and lead to preventative actions. Yeah, in other words, all you parents, keep your kids off of social media. Monitor your kids on the internet. The internet is a very bad place for kids. Okay, there are wolves out there who are intent on targeting your children. So keep your kids off of social media. Accurate, honest reporting has revealed patterns of police negligence, racial and socioeconomic bias, and systemic corruption. But for those positive outcomes to occur, the information shared must be verified, truthful, and very responsibly framed. Misleading narratives can promote fear, distraction, bullying, scapegoating, or misinformation. Responsibility. In true crime stories, suspects and convicted criminals are often discussed in public, even if they haven't been found guilty or if new evidence emerges later. Acknowledging legal nuance. Many true crime cases involve appeals. That's what we're dealing with now. Unresolved questions or complex legal context. Oversimplifying or omitting aspects of this process distorts the truth and can create a false sense of justice or injustice or closure. Okay, and as you see, I go through some concepts. I'm going to move through this, but I'm just introducing you. True crime creators have a unique access to sensitive stories. With that access come the duty to report with care, empathy, and honesty without subterfuge. Being accountable, good storytellers admit mistakes, correct errors, and value truth over narrative drama. They also operate with transparency and not through deceit. That kind of integrity is essential in a genre that walks such a fine ethical line. True crime is powerful. It can inform, inspire justice, and spark meaningful conversations. It's more than just entertainment. It holds the power to educate, raise awareness, and even contribute to justice. Honest coverage can shine a light on systemic failures in law enforcement, wrongful convictions, and the often overlooked experiences of marginalized victims, like kids. It can help the public better understand criminal behavior, legal processes, and the human impact of crime and violence. In some cases, it can even prompt new leads in cold cases or inspire meaningful policy changes. But these positive outcomes are only possible when the information presented is accurate, well researched, and responsibly conveyed. By being personally honest, true crime creators not only protect those involved, but also elevate the genre into something that serves the public good. The potential harm caused by dishonest, selfish, or careless storytelling in this genre is immense. And you'll see that it goes on, okay? But this is all there at Substack. And you can see that I accompany this particular sermon with receipts. So I have attached several receipts regarding my statements or opinions, and they're all there for you to look at. And remember, like I said, you can zoom on into them. Okay, it's all there. It's a lot. It's information dense. Okay. So it's also, as you can see here, there's a comment section. So you see that? You see the comment section? So you can see Aaron Town wrote, "The older I get and the more I learn about humans, the more I value science and subscribe to its raison d'etre. The first principle is that you must not fool yourself, and you are the easiest person to fool." Richard Feynman. "Thus I insist on sharing information unless it puts people in a direct line of danger. We are obliged to leave the next generation with access to more truth than lies. And that can only happen by weeding out all the misinformation and disinformation while sharing truth in any way possible, as often as possible, like you do." So let me do another one. Here's another one called A Sober Look at the Reality of the Delphi Murders Commentary, or How I Learned to Love the Art of War. This was published July 23rd, 2025. And I say, I have been the subject of relentless rounds of attacks and abuses of the reporting systems on social media. Why do you think so many independent reporters have left the Delphi murders conversation, especially on YouTube? Weaponized reporting. How bad faith actors are exploiting YouTube's privacy and copyright systems to silence my opinion and free speech on the platform. At the amendment's very core stands the right of a man to retreat into his own home and therefore be free from unreasonable government intrusion. As a creator, your voice, commentary, or investigative work might be your most valuable asset. But what happens when bad faith actors try to silence you, not with counter arguments or critiques, but through abuse of platform reporting systems, which is it plagues YouTube. Okay, let's be honest here. The abuse of reporting systems plagues YouTube Delphi community because they have weaponized the strike system, and YouTube is horrible. Why do you think little Joe Louis left? Because bad actors have learned to weaponize the copyright strike and the personal privacy complaint system to take down your content and take down your channels. And YouTube is one of the worst about censoring creators. And the abuse of the system to silence independent voices is just a growing plague and has been for years. It's the reason so many good creators have been run off the platform. Okay? Individuals or groups weaponize privacy and copyright complaints to harass, silence, or deplatform those they disagree with. The strategy: harass, flood, and silence. In recent months, I've faced a coordinated campaign involving false privacy claims and baseless copyright takedowns, all submitted with the goal of forcing the removal of videos, triggering channel strikes, undermining monetization, ultimately pressuring me and others into self-censorship. This abuse doesn't just happen in the shadows. It exploits real reporting tools provided by platforms like YouTube, which were intended to protect users, not silence them. And I go into technicalities, okay? But let me be honest here. You may have noticed, if you were around in the first year of my presence on YouTube, you may have noticed that I was highly critical of the Patty family. You might have also noticed that in the past 2 years, I have been very minimally critical of the Patty family. Now, why is that? Ask yourself why I might have been censoring myself for the past 2 years. Now check this one out, because many of my videos and community posts have been removed illegally. And here's why. Check this out here, because this right here, this is going to demonstrate to you that I technically have been wronged. Not considered violations under YouTube policy. Capturing someone in public spaces where there is no reasonable expectation of privacy. Question for you out there. All the videos of Marv, Frank Meister, and the other maniacs outside of the courthouse during trial. Have you realized that all of that content, or the majority of that content, has been removed from my channel? All of the content outside of the courthouse during trial, all of the community posts outside of the courthouse during trial. Do you realize all of that has been removed from my channel, or most of it? Question: was that footage captured in public spaces? In other words, on the sidewalk outside of the courthouse, where there's no reasonable expectation of privacy? Commenting on public figures or public events. Question: was the trial of Richard Allen, the Delphi murders trial, was that a public event, and are they considered public figures? Question: are YouTubers considered limited purpose public figures? You know, like Frank Meister and Marv. Criticism or commentary that does not reveal private facts, like saying Kate O'Hare. She struck my channel and took down a video because I said her name. A name is not a private fact. A name is a public name. Your name is a public entity. So you see what I mean? I'm giving you a handful of examples of false privacy violations that were filed against my channel to remove content, to censor me, that are technically not considered violations under YouTube policy. The legal standard backs this up. Katz v. U.S., 1967, the Supreme Court held that a search under the Fourth Amendment requires both subjective expectation of privacy and an expectation that society is prepared to recognize as reasonable. Standing on a sidewalk, even in Delphi, outside of the courthouse, or participating in public discourse, not private. Discourse surrounding a high-profile double homicide of 2 kids is considered public discourse. It's not private. Yet some groups, Trollform 1.0, Troll Farm 2.0, that's the Mean Girls cranks, continue to spam privacy complaints against my channel, knowing that even a temporary takedown can damage my reach, damage my finances, and damage and harm my reputation. The rise of bad faith copyright takedowns, a primary strategy of the Delphi Murders PR team and bad actors. False copyright claims are just as dangerous, in many ways easier to exploit. But here the law offers a powerful defense, fair use. Commentary, criticism, reporting, teaching, and research, which is all this channel does. Fair use. But I have received numerous copyright takedowns despite this. Okay? Anyhow, harassment by exploiting social media tools. Okay. Anyhow, I'm going to go fast forward through this here. And I also give some examples here. You'll see the screenshots of these complaints. And you'll see like social media. You can see the likes here, comments, commentary. Let's do another one. Matthew Hoffman, a defense nexus, the devil's in the details. And you'll see I provide some documents. Okay, these are actual documents. These are legal documents from the government of Indiana. Okay, this is from my case. This is from the Secretary of State. And I go into some things. I put up some emails. I put up some documentation of a relationship with the law enforcement and fire department in Carmel, Indiana, Hamilton County. In considering all of this, I asked, what are the odds of the fire chief and police commissioner of Carmel, Indiana knowing each other? ChatGPT responded as follows. The odds that the fire chief and police commissioner of Carmel, Indiana knowing each other are extremely high, virtually certain. Carmel is a mid-sized city with a population of approximately 100,000, which means that city officials, especially those in key public safety roles, are likely to interact regularly. The fire and police departments must coordinate closely for a wide range of responsibilities, including emergency response, disaster preparedness, and planning for major public events. These tasks require ongoing communication and collaboration, often directly involving the department heads. Additionally, both the fire chief and police chief typically report to the same city leadership, such as the mayor or city council. And it goes on and on. The odds are well above 99%, barring unusual circumstances. Okay. And I provide some transcripts from an ex parte hearing here. And remember what I said, that all of these transcripts, you can go through it like this, click on it, and the entire transcript is there for you, just like this, for your perusal. Okay? That's how this works. These are called receipts for those in the back who are reality deniers. You see? Receipts. Anyhow, I'd highly recommend you all go check this out. As you can see, it's pretty thorough. Only 14 likes, amazingly enough. Only 14 likes. And here's one I have called the aftermath of my questions about the BG video. And you see, this is more so a slideshow presentation, not much of an article. But like I said, there's all of this. It's just endless. It's endless. Okay. It's all laid out. Disinformation agents, Delphi murders chaos, a representative example. Okay. And I have some stuff for you here, you know. This is regarding fact checking, bad information. A bridge too far, an update on the prof. When I first began my descent into the Delphi murders, I felt as if I had stepped into a forest where light and dense shadows deceptively played on the human eye. Every story, every fragment seemed like a path that fractured into countless others, sparkling, disorienting, myriad reflections, each veiled in its own mist of secrecy, with intertwining tentacles. I did not enter as an omniscient observer. I entered as a light bearer, a dark warrior, a neophyte, moving carefully through a labyrinth I could not yet map, trying to illuminate what others had left behind in shambles and chaos, in echoes and shadow. This case was already heavy with a dark cloud of silence, met like a brick wall, a weight pressed down upon by grief, secrecy, disinformation, and doubt. But I could not turn away from two young girls whose lives had been stolen. I could not let the silence stand unchallenged. I began publishing, not for clicks or validation, but to hold a light to the ever-growing shadow that was engulfing this case. Slowly, a community gathered around me. Viewers and readers who were willing to walk alongside me through the fogged paths, through the dimly veiled screens of obscurity that protect the truth. These were those who asked questions, who refused to accept the easy answers. We built something fragile but strong, a clearing in the forest of uncertainty, a sacred space where curiosity was allowed to exist unafraid. Then the shadows moved into the light. What we faced was not criticism. It was a coordinated campaign designed to discredit and suffocate our voices and erase the light that we carried together. Troll accounts appeared overnight, almost as if conjured from the chasm, rising like the pythic vapors. Their words abrasive yet polished, professional yet diverse, repeating the same talking points across platforms. Threads spring up like tangled underbrush and briary thorns, confounding newcomers and swaying those who had once trusted the fresh perspective I offered. Every comment, every misrepresentation became a gust of hot, portentous wind aimed at extinguishing my flame. The storm was upon us. It was deliberate. It was calculated. It was malignant, and it was relentless. For years, I felt the forest closing in on me. I constantly questioned myself. Had I misstepped? Had I failed to guard the integrity of my deeds and words? But ultimately, I saw that the patterns were undeniable. This was not happenstance. It was orchestration. Sock puppet accounts, harassment, threats, simultaneously attacks across channels, all signs of a force intent on burying my independent coverage. More than 2 years of a nonstop harassment campaign, first from the obvious prosecution shills, and then from a most unexpected quarter, defense advocates. My community began to shrink, not because they disagreed, but because the storm made it confusing and difficult to find a solid footing. And that storm continues to this day. The noise threatened to drown out and rewrite the story, not just of my channel, but of the Delphi murders itself. I tried to stand against it, believing persistence would bring clarity and strength to my message. But in time, storms erode the strongest stone. Lanterns flicker in the restless wind. And in the exhaustion of constant fights, I realized that endurance requires pause and rest. Restoration, not in a surrender, but in a deep effort of preparation. This is not retreat, and it is not defeat. It is a moment of self-preservation, a gathering of strength to rebuild and sharpen the light that guides us. Before stepping back into the fight, Delphi murders demand clarity and perception, discernment, not exhaustion, stamina, not noise. They demand vigilance, not silence forced by the abuse and fatigue, persistence, not surrender. I will remain stronger, more deliberate, spanning the bridge between shadow and light, carrying the lantern even higher and steadier, illuminating the dark forest, the lies. Through this storm, I have learned lessons and strategies that transcend any single case or campaign. You never know what you don't know. I have learned that credibility and loyalty can endure when tended to with love and consistency. I have learned that algorithms do not discern the truth, and groupthink does not benefit the truth teller. They only amplify the noise. Listen to those who make the most noise and miss the most truth. There you will find the disinformers. This crime is infested by a narrative control campaign, the likes of which is unfathomable to the casual viewer. I have learned that genuine communities with roots that run deeper than the mere surface chaos are stronger than any coordinated attack campaign, whether by the Mean Girls or Troll Farm, or both together. Remember, I have learned that narratives, no matter how hijacked, can be reclaimed when the truth teller refuses to completely disappear from the story. The Delphi case itself mirrors this very struggle. Each corridor of the investigation is a shadowed path. Each lead a fork in the labyrinth, another left turn, another tentacle of the crack, and this is our story. The girls' lives, the questions surrounding them, the truth of their senseless deaths, and all of the lies told demand that we keep moving forward no matter where it leads us. That we carry the light where others have refused to go, where others have withdrawn in fear, like the shadowy beast of myth, into ultimate darkness. As a truth teller, I place myself at the center of that sphere of illumination, a pivot between silence and clarity, between fear and courage, between submission and outrage. My presence matters. My voice matters. Your voice matters. Their lives mattered. Period. The coordinated attacks against me and my channel echo the obfuscation surrounding this entire case. In the 8 years of lies and misdirection, just as my words are twisted, just as my intent is misrepresented, just as my heart is misjudged, so too has the truth about Delphi itself been subjected to twisting, rumor, speculation, disinformation campaigns, and selective storytelling. To speak honestly is to challenge the machinery of this misdirection, to rage against the objectives of this narrative control. To persist is to refuse to be drowned out in the echoes of lies, disinformation, and falsehoods. What are they protecting? Even as this storm rages, there are moments of light, messages from those who see through the dark, reminders that the truth I carry matters, donations from various strangers scattered throughout the world. This support, acting like the deep roots under the forest floor, holding things together even when the storm threatened to uproot and drown everything. Rain, like knowledge, fertilizing holy ground. In this effort, moral support waned, views are down, financial support all but gone. The campaign indeed has begun to achieve its goal. However, I realize that I am not alone. Even when rough seas make smooth sailing impossible, everyone struggling to survive, each in their own way. That connection, once established, cannot be easily erased. That light still shines through. The truth always rises to the surface, given enough time. And so, as I paused and redirect, it's not a silence barn of fear, exhaustion, or outrage. It is a necessary withdrawal, moment of calm, while I stoke the tinder of truth behind the scenes. Elements and elementals, unknown to the haters, combining through novel pathways, while the flame again steadies itself. I have come to understand my own role as a central figure in this work, a storm endurer, a bridge walker, a keeper of the flame, so to speak, a speaker of truth to power. Every article I write, every video I produce, every live stream I create, and every message I leave has been and will be an attempt to carve a path of truth through the fog that is the Delphi murders. Each pause, each moment of reflection strengthens my ability to continue, and I suggest a break for all of you as well. A break for your health and sanity, for your complete sense of balance. Where are we? And where are we going? The noise will never drown out the simple truth, and I will walk again into that clearing, through that labyrinth of lies, carrying the light of truth even higher and higher until all is revealed. I will speak again to illuminate, to challenge, and to ultimately defeat the obfuscation, to insist that the story of Abby and Libby and the broader truth it tells is pursued with rigor, valor, and care. Those who have tried to silence me, the uniparty, will inevitably find that my absence strengthens my resolve and that they will never win. I only hope that you can see it too. You are part of that constellation guiding my path, and I mean you listening. That fuel that lights my fury, the fury of my flame. Your attention, support, and willingness to follow the light through the twisted paths is what makes this endurance possible. You are a witness to the persistence, a participant in the reclaiming of the narrative from those who would prefer that everything, especially their own misdeeds, remain in the shadow forever. The Delphi murders will remain unsolved. The labyrinth will still be there, and I, like the anti-hero who persists with my lantern in hand, am not finished. The storm has not yet passed, and my journey is not yet over. I will carry forward with patience, clarity, and resolve that only an enduring fire can produce. And I will tell the truth, no matter who it affects. This is not only a commitment to a case, to two girls, or to community. It is a declaration that shadows, no matter how dark, cannot overwhelm a light that is intentionally burning with a conviction from God above. Storms and efforts, no matter how fierce, cannot sweep away roots that run this deep when guided by faith in God. Tentacles, no matter how confounding, can be navigated by persistence and with courage when the Lord is the guide and compass. In the end, I am the bridge burner, the storm endurer, the truth teller, the soothsayer, the grim reaper of Delphi. And now I step back to prepare, to change direction, to hone my skills, and to teleport into another realm of power. And I will return, the clearing brighter, the path clearer, and the lines of inquiry deeper. Together we will keep walking this path, even when the dense fog tries to claim the forest and relegate the truth into the realms of fantasy. There is no bridge. Okay? And That was what I wrote in August 19th of 2025, when I took my brief sabbatical to rest and recharge my batteries. This was my message, so you would understand. And as you can see here, for instance, this one's called A Dose of Truth from August 30th. I can play a video, right? I put the entire, this is an hour-long video. I put the entire video here. See? And I put the transcript here, okay? So this is a video that's an hour and 8 minutes, and this is the entire transcript in case you wanted to read it. And this was my return from my little break, I wrote out an explanation, okay? But this is here, okay, and you can see, and it's rather long, you know, it's an hour long. So this is the entire transcript in case you'd prefer to read it. All right, and here's another one. Who is Sarah Elrod Osbrook? September 4th, 2025. You might remember that in the last half of 2024, the troll farm was in its final push to influence the jury pool, and that's a fact. And during this period, they were doing endless lives, spreading lies as often as they could. They had also ramped up the blatant online threats and intimidation aimed at several YouTubers, including myself. In the month just prior to trial, at one of the final pretrial hearings, Sarah Elrod Osbrook, Roseanne Mullen, and Courtney Barris, all friends of Becky Patty, physically set themselves up in between the exit doors of the courthouse and Mrs. Allen's vehicle in an attempt to sabotage her and her mother-in-law, baiting them into a conversation while secretly recording it. They later confessed vicariously through Mark Robert Cohen that the purpose of this recording and campaign was to use these false allegations to, quote, turn Richard Allen against his family and make him believe that no one believed in him anymore, not his wife and mother, to make him feel alone, etc., in order to compel him to take a plea deal. Below is a portion of the live Mrs. Osbrook made perpetuating this false story. And here, I put the video in which she's perpetuating these lies. Okay. Here are the recordings the troll farm shared as supposed proof of this encounter. Notice here that nothing is said about the state of her marriage or her opinion about Richard Allen's guilt and belief in his confessions. And I put the video of Kathy and Janice Allen that was surreptitiously recorded, okay? And the other one. You see? And you can see who posted it here. And then I posted Roseanne Mullen's Facebook post perpetuating the story. Okay. And then I put all of the screenshots of the troll farm running around spreading these lies, which is what they did. And you see there's all the receipts laid out for you very clearly. Poor Kathy. Poor Kathy, what they did to her. But you can see that it's the troll farm. Okay, so what happened is they had a few start off the rumor, and then they had the gang come behind all over social media. There's here you will see Facebook, YouTube. There's Discord. They went all over social media with it. And I said, take a look at this. She made sure to also place herself in front of the news cameras, and the Carroll County Comet reposted the news interview, claiming to be a family friend of Williams and German's families. And I noticed the number of microphones here. Oh, I'm sorry. I have another photo. Okay, this is not it. I have another photo where there's about 8 microphones. But this particular photo that Carroll County Comet shared is only 2. But I had an individual who's actually there who has independent footage that I own. Anyhow, I discussed this whole thing, okay? And I show you all the receipts, okay? And then I describe with receipts who this person is and their connection to law enforcement and to the prison system in Illinois. And then I also post Kathy's response, which was incredible. And I must admit here, this is what made me love Kathy's attorney, Mr. Dave Cloutier. So check this out. And for those of you who never heard this, this will give you an idea of the quality of individual that Mr. Dave Cloutier, Kathy's attorney, is. The following is in response to questions directed to Kathy Allen. My name is Dave Cloutier. I've been a licensed attorney in Indiana for over 28 years, practicing in South Bend and handling personal injury and wrongful death cases, primarily in north central Indiana. I can confirm that I am privileged to represent Kathy on a pro bono basis with respect to advising her about protecting her interest related to publicity surrounding the State versus Richard Allen case, in which Kathy's husband, Rick, is accused of the tragic murders of Liberty German and Abigail Williams. Kathy and I were brought together by a mutual acquaintance who, as a professional, felt strongly that Kathy needed advice and representation for herself. Over several months, I have gotten to know Kathy very well. She is under incredible stress and has handled it with grace, dignity, and goodwill. It has been a privilege to get to know someone with Kathy's strength. Kathy and I both have complete sympathy for the family of Libby and Abby and for all the people of the Delphi area. It's difficult to imagine how hard it must be for the families who deal with this loss and the unspeakable nature of what has happened to Libby and Abby. For various reasons, Kathy has scrupulously avoided public comment of any kind. Even in the face of repeated false claims and misinformation, both generally and specifically related to her, Kathy has no desire to do or say anything to prejudice any party's rights related to the upcoming trial. She's also been very careful to avoid doing or saying anything to add any pain or anxiety to the families of Abby and Libby. However, Kathy recently was contacted by the murder sheet, from whom she learned of a claim by an unknown person or persons, troll farm, about Kathy's marriage. I'm sorry, I must have missed the bottom. Let's see. Question murder sheet asked: did Kathy consider her marriage to Rick to be over and now believes his alleged confessions? Relatedly, it was asked of Kathy whether she had some kind of recent change of heart and is on that basis going around saying these things. Kathy's answer to these questions is most definitely and emphatically no. Kathy's marriage has certainly been profoundly affected by Rick's incarceration, and both of them are suffering immense stress. Kathy loves her husband, believes in the sanctity of marriage vows, and believes that the same presumption of innocence our legal system gives to Rick should be given in equal measure by her to the husband she loves. As to her husband's alleged confessions, it is not true that Kathy now believes them. But at this time, Kathy will limit her response to just that. Finally, she has not been going around telling people these things. Kathy certainly has strong opinions and much to say about these matters more broadly. Yeah, and that's because I understand Kathy's a firecracker. Perhaps in the very near future or further down the road, she may be willing and able to say more. For the time being, she is only responding to the direct questions asked that do not relate to facts of the case, but do relate to Kathy herself and her reputation. With malice toward no one, Kathy prays for justice and for healing for all innocent people affected by the murders of Libby and Abby. She's also extremely grateful to Rick's defense team of lawyers, their staff, and investigators. They have been courteous and kind to her and very conscientious about representing her husband. And you see, that is the truth about that situation. And I think a round of applause should go around for Mr. Cloutier expressing that so beautifully and compassionately when he and she didn't have to. So kudos for that. And as you'll see, I go further and say initially myself and Rick Snay were the first to call out this abjectly false story and the outright rise this group intentionally spread to try to influence this case. Finally, we see the truth starting to rise to the surface as these people begin turning on each other. And I put some receipts, okay? And there's another one. The most recent, and I'm not going to read through this one because I recently did this. If you go back in my channel, just recently, there's a live stream called The Roblox Swatting, okay? The Roblox Swatting. And I'm going to paste it here for you. The Roblox Swatting. Okay? That video there covers this particular, I go in great detail into this particular article here, in which I talked about the Delphi murders Roblox video swatting attempt. Okay, and I very clearly lay it out for you with receipts, you'll see. Okay, I very clearly lay it out, and you'll see it all here, and you'll see all the receipts. But this is available for you to go check out yourselves. That's called the Roblox swatting attempt. This was my very first article here called Protecting the Process. All right, and you'll see this one. I describe some things about our, the reasons that we should not be leaking. Okay, the reasons that no one in this should be leaking discovery, because Mr. Allen has an active appeal, okay? So any leaks of discovery sabotage the potential future of Richard Allen in the process. And I describe very clearly the entire context and the entire situation. Okay, and so that, if you're interested in that, I also give some information about the appellate process, which is very helpful For any of you curious about the appellate process, you'll see here at the end of the article, I give a lot of information that for you to read about the appellate process, how it works, what are the steps, everything you need to know to start to understand the appellate process. Okay. Anyhow, let's be finished with that. So that's my Substack. Okay. For those of you interested in the Substack, that is the Substack. And please, if you're a reader or if you like receipts, that's the best place for you to subscribe. Okay. And for those of you who pay for the subscription, there are added benefits. So there are perks for the paid subscribers, just like anywhere. But everything's available to you in due time, even if you're a free subscriber. So whether you're paid or free, please go subscribe to the Substack. You'll get notifications in your email to help you with that. Okay, now, moving on. Let me do a little deal. Just a moment. Let's see. I got to pull it down for a minute, so hold on a moment. Let's see. There I am. Okay, good. So that was part one. I hope you enjoyed it. Somewhat of an introduction into the Substack, and I really appreciate everyone for sticking with me through that. Um, I want to move into part two and get my back feeling better with my little pillow here. All right. Um, oh, okay. So part two. So what we're going to move into now is something very interesting and for those of you who have not been introduced to this yet or thoroughly, if you know about it but haven't thoroughly gone through it, this was something that I wanted because we haven't done it yet here on this channel. I wanted us to go through line by line through this because I think there are a lot of good thoughts in this. So we're going to go through it and hopefully you guys can bear with me and we can make it through this. And hey, if you happen to be in the live chat, just have at it. Enjoy the chat. You don't necessarily have to read along with me, but I'm going to put it on the screen. But I'm going to be ignoring the live chat while we put this on the screen, okay? Okay. So what this is the Roy West email, okay? To Jerry Holman, basically. Let me... yeah, so you can feel free to just read. I mean, I'm sorry, listen. Just listen. Put your earbuds in, just listen, because I'm going to read this for you. This is from Roy West to Jerry Holman. Friday, May 19th, 2017. Again, May 19th, 2017. Sirs, as per request, I have prepared a list of suggestions and tasks. Having listened to the Delphi investigators at the meeting on May 12th, 2017, It sounds as if through their investigation thus far, there is no reason to believe that these girls were targeted in any fashion other than this being a crime of opportunity committed by a complete stranger whose motives remain unknown. Therefore, I would make the following suggestions in regards to investigating this case. Now, let me just stop there and say that I disagree with that. Okay, so let me clearly state that just because I'm reading through this doesn't mean that I agree with everything about it. It means that I am trying to provide you with a read through of this for informational purposes, and and personally, I believe that it's more likely that the girls were targeted than that it was a crime of opportunity by a complete stranger. But at this point, it's still unknown. However, I am more inclined to believe that these girls absolutely were targeted. So with that caveat, we'll get into it. So here are his suggestions to Jerry Holman. Determine if during the week prior to February 13th, the girls spoke with any students at school about going to the High Bridge on Monday, February 13th. If yes, did any adults overhear the conversation? Important concept there to me because he's asking, was this pre-planned? And did anyone know? See, when he says girls spoke with anyone at school, I up the ante to, did the girls speak with anyone, period, indicating that this was a pre-planned trip? Okay. Next, review the statements of any school friends. Was there any conversation about the girls talking about going to the High Bridge that may have occurred away from school property? Review the statements of all the friends of the girls stayed overnight with after school on February 10th. Same info as above. Put the brakes on. Let's put the brakes on. You guys remember the sleepover? Review the statements of all friends the girls stayed overnight with after school on Friday, February 10th. How about all sleepovers in the weeks prior? Review the statements of all family members. Who was present when any and all conversations took place about them wanting to go to the High Bridge, especially regarding the drop off and pickup times mentioned? Yeah. So, in other words, talk to the family, figure out everyone who knew the conversations about going, about being dropped off, and about being picked up. Still pertinent information, in my opinion. Obtain copies of the funeral register book for each victim. Check for names who may live in the vicinity of the Monon High Bridge. Include the online post for each funeral book as well. I will look for both male and female names in the event someone came to the funeral home more out of remorse about what happened, possibly over possessing knowledge of the crime rather than showing their respect. Yeah, and it's my understanding that that did happen. Now, what happened with that information? Was it flushed down the toilet? Identity of the suspect. 3 months into the investigation, and the suspect remains unidentified. With respect to the photo in the crime scene, I would consider releasing this additional information to the media about the suspect, which may help lead to new information coming in from the Delphi area, if in fact this suspect is a local person. It may also help narrow the focus of the search. Now, here's an important one. Having crossed the water in Deer Creek to the quote unquote kill zone, which is a term I despise, and I'll talk about that later. Either all or portions of the suspect's clothing would have been soaking wet as well. To help refocus the public's attention when looking at the suspect photo, I would suggest anyone seeing a person matching the description in the late afternoon or evening hours on Monday, February 13, whose clothing or shoes would have appeared unusually wet, is asked to contact the Delphi authorities. Suggest again that anyone believes seeing a person matching the suspect's photo and who is known to have worn a similar blue coat throughout the winter months in December through February, then suddenly stopped wearing the blue coat the night of the Abby Williams and Libby German murders, or the night they went missing, February 13th, or immediately following the release of the phone video to the media, is asked to contact the Delphi authorities. That's an important point. Now, if you want to talk about exculpatory perspectives, let's talk about this. What he's suggesting is that anyone who wore that type of blue coat, which has been termed, quote unquote, the blue Carhartt jacket, which we don't believe was a Carhartt, would have stopped wearing it immediately after the murders or immediately after the release of the image from the Bridge Guy video. So the question becomes, if that is very likely to have happened, right? Then why would Richard Allen have continued possessing and wearing that coat, not only just after the murders, but after the release of the Bridge Guy imagery? Because anyone in their right mind who had committed this crime would have disposed of that piece of evidence, especially after the image was released to the public, showing a photograph of you in that damn jacket. Well, we now know, because of Miss Erica Morris and Christine, her partner, that the particular blue Carhartt jacket owned by Richard Allen was purchased after this period of time. So it's just a total rabbit hole. Okay, it's almost like a double exculpatory indicator for Rick Allen. Okay. In addition, I would consider mentioning to the local media without jeopardizing your investigation in the ongoing effort to help identify the suspect, if in fact he is a local person living in the area. It is believed this person may be a gun enthusiast and may carry a handgun as well as a knife. And based upon several profiles given to us by members of law enforcement, it is felt this person may also exhibit some degree of interest in pornography or heavy metal music, possibly ritualistic practices or behaviors such as the killing of small animals. Hello? Now, for all of you who know my thoughts around this case, all right, listen up. Please listen up to this one, guys. Apparently, now please be patient with me here. Okay, who's listening? Based upon several profiles given to us by law enforcement, it is felt this person may exhibit some degree of interest in, do your bullet point list, pornography, heavy metal music, ritualistic practices, killing of small animals. Question for you out there. Of all of those profile points, first, does Rick Allen match any of those points? And even more importantly, think of my theory of this crime, that it is indeed a cult sacrificial killing. Wouldn't it make sense if there's a sexual element and these girls are targeted and it is a cult sacrificial killing, that there would be an interest in pornography, check. Heavy metal music, check. Ritualistic practices, check. Killing of small animals, check. I mean, this is so obvious. Like everything in this case, it is time for the public to wake up to what is actually happening here. As a matter of fact, go and read Dr. Perlmutter's description and opinion of the signatures at the crime scene and the crime scene in and of itself as a signature. And also consider that those bodies are absolutely staged in tarot configurations, and that the stick figurations on their bodies are not random and would absolutely be senseless for a lone killer like Richard Allen to do. It is time for you to wake up on the reality of the Delphi murders. And I am talking about the public. You have to open your eyes to what has actually happened here. Seek out the crime scene photos. Seek out Dr. Perlmutter's opinion of the crime scene. Seek out similar cases. Understand that there is a strong probability that there are other similar cases with similar signatures in the Midwest in the past 10 years. Okay, I'll continue. Sorry, I had to preach a bit. I think this is very important for you to really understand what he said regarding multiple profiles from law enforcement. And remember, he said multiple law enforcement profiles, not just a single profile. Okay? Very important concept. Let me continue. Information known that may be unique to this suspect at the time of the killings. The suspect appeared from the photo from that time of day to have been somewhat overdressed, which means to me he was intentionally hiding his identity through bundles or layers of clothing, and to have walked a long distance. Check the weather, temperature, and humidity around the time the girls were dropped off. Just something to consider. Does he live close by or have transportation nearby? I would concentrate on the radius of the canvas at this time to the crime scene location and divide it into 4 quadrants. Go back to all the homes, farms, and businesses in this specific locale, looking for any individuals known to frequent the high bridge. Absolutely phenomenal. Listen, guys, what he is saying about the radius of the canvas, think about where the vehicles were blocked. Creating a perimeter on the main roads. It is a very large area. It's not just Ron Logan's property. I think this is an immaculately beautiful idea, okay? Concentrate on that entire radius. Go back to all the homes, farms, shacks, and businesses in this specific locale, looking for any individuals known to frequent the high bridge. Remember we said this was going to be someone who was very familiar with the area, like all of the meth heads and kids who frequented the high bridge? Or who are known to pass by the location of the crime scene on a regular basis by either driving, biking, walking back and forth, home or work. Yeah, I agree. This is a really good bullet point. Again, it's third paragraph from the bottom here. Don't rule out the person seen standing on the bridge platform. Oh, you mean the 20-year-old guy, the young guy with bushy hair and beautiful eyes, but Betsy Blair claims to have seen? Who was seen by a female witness prior to the girls arriving. This woman described the man She's seen as wearing similar clothing, but said he appeared to be in his 20s. Hello? Appeared to be in his 20s. She provided a composite drawing of this person with no hat, with no facial hair, with bushy hair, beautiful eyes, young guy sketch, 20 years old. Note, it was stated at this meeting, this woman walked to within 50 to 75 feet of this subject when she decided to turn around. Of interest to me is the fact that he did not acknowledge her, follow her, or attempt to make any contact with her, even after she had made some sort of eye contact with this person. Good point. Good point. Remember, 50 feet is close. If you ever go out there, I suggest all of you out there, go to the high bridge. Go out there. When you see how large of an area it is, and you think of, in comparison to how large of an area it is, look at how close of a distance 50 feet would be. She was basically right on top of him. I mean, as close as you could be without bumping into him, she was right on top of him. Made eye contact. I would suggest you have a copy of the composite drawing of this person available to you when you conduct a recanvass of the homes, farms, and businesses in the specific locale of the Moan and High Bridge, if for no other reason than to rule this person out of the investigation. Yeah, well, the funny thing, were they showing the old guy sketch to all of the locals in the neighborhood rather than the young guy sketch? All right. All right, I'll continue. The clothing this suspect was seen wearing, shown in the photo, is known to be common to the area and general in purpose and appearance. Police have a recording of the suspect's voice saying, "Hey, girls, down the hill." Stop there. Last paragraph. Hey, girls, down the hill? Is this what was said on May 12th in the huddle that law enforcement had? Hey, girls. Question. Did the voice saying down the hill also prior to that say, hey, girls? Did the word guys come from some other recording or some other voice or some other person? And has that been excised from this video and recording we're given? Is Roy misremembering? Or is he taking this from his notes? Was it factually said, hey, girls, down the hill? I think it's something to think about. I would strongly suggest to have all the investigators conducting the recanvass to familiarize themselves with the sound of this man's voice, to compare it with the males they may encounter at the homes, farms, and businesses in the area of the High Bridge. Consider the crime scene. Both knife attacks appear to be frontal in nature, and the incised wounds of the necks are not deep wounds, more of a bloodletting, so to speak. Hello? A bloodletting? Listen to this next one. Please listen to this one. Because remember yesterday when I said to everyone, forget everything you've known since the arrest of Richard Allen. Put yourself back into the mindset that we all had prior to the arrest of Richard Allen. All the things we spoke about over the years, including with Raffi. And listen to this one. It was stated at our meeting on May 12th, someone had suggested this method was also used to cut pigs. This method was also used to cut pigs. Ring a bell, anyone? Packers? The Mears Butcher Shop? Keegan Klein's Fantasy of How to Cut Pigs? The Pig Roast? Josh Chrisman and Elvis Fields Delivering Pigs? Whoever is described as being muddy, bloody, as if they've just slaughtered a pig? Knowing that both of these, well, apologize, Abby's body was pretty devoid of blood, and Libby's body appeared to have been upside down at some point, just like Abby's. So both girls appeared to have been upside down at some point. Abby's pretty much devoid of blood, and Libby's blood all over the place. He mentions, could this been more of a bloodletting? And this method is used to cut pigs. Knowing that there are many homes, farms, or businesses known in the area that raise pigs where family members, employees, etc. may utilize this method to slaughter pigs. Remember, Keegan Klein's little pretend girlfriend said that he was fascinated in a very strange way with that particular method of slaughtering pigs. If so, try to identify any family members or past, present employees who have done this type of cutting. I know who has, just damn near every employee of the Packers. Abby sustained one incised knife wound on the neck. It's significant is that there are no other injuries to her body. Libby sustained 3 to 5 incised knife wounds on the neck. Investigators believe she may have put up a struggle, although there are no defensive wounds. There was a significant amount of blood observed on both of her hands, and she was left unclothed. Significant is that there are no other injuries to her body. I often wonder if the girls were sedated. Were they sedated and toxicology not properly done? Or was it some type of sedation that may disappear before toxicology is done? Or were the girls possibly restrained by multiple individuals such that they would not leave defensive wounds or any other injuries to their bodies? Neither victim was sexually assaulted, and their clothing did not appear to be cut, ripped, or torn. Another oddity. Why is one girl nude and one girl clothed? Why is one girl nude? Why is one girl clothed? And why are there no injuries to the bodies? And why are there no cutting or ripping or tearing of the clothing? There's no evidence of rage during the attacks, with the exception of Libby having more than one wound. After or during the attack, it appears Libby was dragged a short distance over to a location on the ground across from where Abby was lying. Yes, and furthermore, she was positioned with her arm in an elevated position, identically mirroring the magician from the tarot deck, and she was placed with the damn near tree holding that arm in that elevated position. Oh, sorry. I have a little allergy. When discovered, Abby appeared wearing clothing belonging to Libby, her hand still inside the clothing. Yeah, but we don't know. She could have been dead when she was placed in that clothing, in my opinion. Sticks and logs were found positioned on the bodies that appeared to have some similarity to demonic symbols. Hello? Come on, guys. This is Mr. Roy West email. Listen to this. This is May of 2017. Okay, mid-May of 2017. The sticks appeared to be similar to demonic symbols. Some suggested it appeared to be Odinism. Note, having checked the internet regarding demonic symbols, there is reference to the hexagram and reference to Freemasons using this symbol in sexual connotations. Is anyone doing research out here? Roy West claims, having checked the internet regarding demonic symbols, there is reference to the hexagram and reference to Freemasons using the symbol in sexual connotations. I think this document opens up a whole new list of concerns we need to be re-examining. What appeared to be the letter F, written in blood, appeared on a tree near the bodies, later identified as being Libby's blood, and there was blood at the base of the tree. Was a measurement taken from the top of the letter to the ground? Can it assist with determining a possible height of the suspect? Note, having checked the internet regarding demonic symbols, there is reference to the letter F being the sixth letter of the alphabet and the symbol 666. Guys, it's time to reopen the books on these thoughts here. Libby's phone, shoes, and one sock was recovered on the ground in the areas of the bodies. Libby's underpants and one sock was not found in the area of where the bodies were located and have not been recovered. It was suggested at the meeting it's possible they could have been swept away or lodged in debris in Deer Creek, where a pair of jeans was found caught on debris at the water's edge. Also considered a possibility that one or both items may have been kept as a trophy or souvenir to commemorate the act. An unfired .40 caliber bullet cartridge was discovered on the ground in between the bodies. It was stated at the meeting through a lab examination of the unfired bullet cartridge, 3 distinct extraction marks were observed on the cartridge case that would have a similar marking characteristics to that of a Sig Sauer semi-automatic pistol. Note, having checked the internet regarding demonic symbols, there is also reference to a circle with a dot in the center. That refers to the sun and various sun gods, as well as reference to the Freemasons using this symbol to represent a sexual connotation. Looking at the base of the unfired bullet cartridge, could the unfired cartridge have been left at the scene as a demonic symbol rather than being ejected from the gun or accidentally dropped at the scene? Amazing. Amazing. Fucking amazing. This guy's brain is incredible. Listen, 6 Freemasons, hexagram, sun symbolism. It was mentioned at the meeting during a search warrant served at Ron Logan's home. Several guns and books were recovered from the home, some pornographic material, and it was stated that there were goats' heads observed hanging in the rear yard of the house. Who knows that? Who remembers that? Remember Eric Williams saying there was dead animals' heads and all where he thought the shack was, or the stick structure, or some meth heads were hanging out? He said it was real evil-ass demonic shit. Animal bones hanging everywhere. Remember the photos of the animal bones? It was stated that there were goat heads observed hanging in the rear of Ron Logan's house. During the interview with Logan, was it determined who actually placed the goat heads there and when they were placed there? Why? Also at the meeting, it was felt among some of the investigators present that Ron Logan could not have committed these murders because of his alibi of driving to a landfill and purchasing some fish at a fish store in Lafayette, Indiana on the Monday afternoon of February 13th. It was also discussed at the meeting that Ron Logan does act strange, and he has been known to bring females who are known to use meth back to his home for sex. I would suggest you obtain all the unedited copies of interviews Ron Logan has done with the media before he was arrested on probation violation to look for any inconsistent statements. His actions and behavior and all references he may have made about the girls or location where they were found. With respect to the search warrant served at Ron Logan's home, were there any of the sink traps from the sink, tub, shower examined for blood and sent to the lab for analysis? If not, it's possible. Is it possible to obtain another search warrant to collect all the sink, tub, and shower traps? Consider the possibility someone else could have been staying with him or visiting Ron Logan over the weekend on that Monday, February 13th. Another amazing idea. Are all the rumors we heard true about who was at Ron Logan's that weekend? Was there any other 40 caliber pistol ammunition found in Ron Logan's home or vehicle? Was there any receipts from the gun stores where he may have purchased weapons in the past? Was there any similar articles of clothing that are shown in the photo found in Ron Logan's home or on his property or vehicle? Additional suggestions with respect to locating this suspect. It appears from his actions and deeds, the suspect may fit the category of an organized killer in some respects, in that he brought both the gun for control and the knife for assault. He had a plan. He made the girls take off clothing before crossing the cold water in Deer Creek, again, control, and then directed them onto Logan's property where he performed the act. Why Logan's property and not Weber's? Remember, keep it simple. Great fucking idea from Roy West. If it's a crime of opportunity, how is this an organized killer? This would indicate planning if he's bringing the gun for the assault, bringing the knife for the assault, dressing in clothing that hides his features and his body for the assault. It would indicate that it's not just a rando crime of opportunity that suddenly occurred to him while he's out there. Remember, keep it simple. And additionally, I want to say this. Regarding his concept or idea to look for people in wet clothing, think about this. If you're just in a t-shirt and blue jeans and you get soaking wet, it's not that big of a deal because you're in light clothing that's not going to be extremely heavy when it's soaking wet. If you're in the very heavy layers, as this apparent bridge guy character it appears to be wearing, and you cross that creek and become soaking wet in the heavy, heavy layers of clothing, would you keep all that on the entire time, or would you not start shedding some of it when it's freezing effing cold and you're absolutely soaking wet in these heavy articles of clothing? Have all the known male associates of Logan's been identified and interviewed? Yeah, like Garrett Kurtz. Let's see. Who are some other associates of Logan? Let's see. Kathy Shank's daughter. Let's see. Keegan and Tony Klein. Let's see. Brad Holder. Have all of Logan's family members been identified? And which of the male family members are known to have been to his home, who may have other family members brought onto his property? Was any family member or friend staying at his home over the weekend of February 13th, 2017? Has Logan admitted to being a member of a group or having associated with a group who is known to be involved with any type of devil worship or practices? Keep in mind, the organized killer profile, generally speaking, it would fit a person in his late teens to mid 30s. Again, how old is this guy on the bridge? 20 years old? 20 years old? 20s? 20s? The Betsy Blair young guy sketch? 20s? So he says this organized killer, generally speaking, would fit a person in his late teens to mid 30s. Again, generally speaking. If it was the first time he committed such a crime, he may live close to the crime scene. However, if he's committed other crimes of this nature, he may live farther away from the crime scene, but he still passes by the crime scene on a regular basis, such as walking or driving the area. Consider other sources of information about people living in the area of the High Bridge. Interview all known postal carriers whose routes deliver in this area. Have they noticed anything unusual about the person or property of the people they deliver mail to? Do they know of anyone in the area who on rare occasion may receive articles of mail or magazines pertaining to the occult? Are they aware of anyone in the immediate area who may suffer from a mental defect or mental condition? Known delivery drivers whose routes deliver in the area. Have they noticed anything unusual about the person or property of the people they make deliveries to? Do they know of anyone in the area who on rare occasion may receive packages or yard items pertaining to the occult? Are they aware of anyone in the immediate area who may suffer from a mental defect or condition? Consider, are there any pizza delivery men living in the area who may have had prior contact with either girl delivering pizzas to their homes? Check with the local pharmacist in Delphi to see if they are aware of anyone fitting this man's description who is being prescribed medication for any sort of mental defect, mental condition, who may live in the area of the crime scene. State Police, Carroll County Sheriff's Department, and Delphi City Police Department research firearms permits. You see, now, guys, you remember my conspiracy theory that the way they targeted Rick Allen, one of the ways is that they illegally sought out information on the purchases of Sig Sauer 40 calibers from all the FFLs in the area. That's my conspiracy theory. Well, he's recommending you do a similar thing, but with firearm permits from the departments and law enforcement. Determine if there are any males on record with a firearm permit issued that may live in the immediate vicinity of the High Bridge. Well, yeah, fuck, we know Brad Weber and Ron Logan both did. Gun stores and gun dealers in the area. Determine if anyone living in Delphi area has purchased a 40 caliber Sig Sauer semi-automatic pistol from their store anytime prior to February 13th. If so, check the names against people known to be living near the crime scene. That's what I'm saying, guys. I believe they did some underhanded things. If so, check the names against people known to be living in the area. Also consider asking about purchases of 40 caliber ammunition and gun cleaning kits. The fact that 3 ejection marks were noticed on the unfired bullet cartridge could also possibly indicate the round had previously been ejected from the weapon on 2 different occasions. Either due to intimidation of someone with the weapon, consider looking for previous police reports involving pointing a firearm in the area of the High Bridge, or maybe to render it safe after removing the magazine for cleaning, or to practice play learn how to operate a slide with the loaded magazine in the weapon, or just rendering the gun safe for some other unknown reason. Gun store ranges or gun ranges, firing ranges in the area, in the Delphi area. Determine if there is anyone who may know a person that uses a 40 caliber Sig Sauer semi-automatic pistol at the range on a regular basis. Public library. Determine if there has been anyone interested in checking out books or reading material about the occult regarding demonic symbols and ritualistic practices or beliefs. If any individuals are identified, consider interviewing them to try to learn their names of other individuals known to be living in Delphi area who may indulge in the same beliefs and practices. Cross-check these names against anyone known to be living near the crime scene. Again, anyone interested in checking out books, reading material about the occult regarding demonic symbols, ritualistic practices? I bet that was never done. Tattoo shops or parlors. Ask the artist if they know of anyone living in the area who may have asked about demonic tattoos. Check all the reports of animal abuse. Remember that profile point talks back to the slaughter of animals? Check out the reports of animal abuse in the vicinity of a crime scene. Remember Eric Williams talking about dead animals in all the trees, animal bones, skulls in the trees. Determine if there was more to report than neglected or than neglect. In other words, torture, mutilation. Okay? The abusers of animals Logansport Hospital, talk with the psychiatrist in person to see if they can point you to someone who may have been recently released from their care or who is still presently being treated on an outpatient basis that may live in the immediate area of the crime scene. Talk with the psychiatrist at Logansport Hospital to see if you can point to anyone who may have been recently released who may live in the area. Check with Carroll County Probation. Have any offenders been released from any other county or state who've recently had their probation transferred to Carroll County? Look at the offenses. Note, additional considerations. During the meeting on May 12th, I asked about the possibility of using forensic hypnosis. If it was felt the witnesses, in particular Kelsey German and Betsy Blair, the woman who observed the man standing on the high bridge platform, have provided all available information known to them at the time regarding what they may have seen in the area of the Monon High Bridge on February 13th. I read this article on May 5th before coming to the meeting and thought it was published in 1980. It's something the FBI has used in the past. Is this a resource that on a rare occasion may still be available to the FBI to consider using in this particular place? Remember, what he's saying is that, did Betsy Blair and Kelsey German withhold things that they knew, whether intentionally or unintentionally, consciously or subconsciously? And he attaches this publication from the National Criminal Justice Reference Service, Office of Justice Programs. Okay. The FBI has adopted a team approach in its use of hypnosis, using guidelines set out by the U.S. Department of Justice since illegible, since the 60s, I think, and incorporating special agents and hypnosis coordinators. The FBI policy states that hypnosis can be used only on select cases, such as bank robbery, where if a large amount of money is involved, kidnapping, extortion, and crimes of violence which occur where FBI has jurisdiction. Only key witnesses or crime scene victims can be hypnotized. No agent may participate in hypnotic interview without written permission from the Assistant Attorney General of the Criminal Division, U.S. DOJ. The entire interview must also be recorded, preferably with video. The guidelines specify that a qualified health professional, such as a psychiatrist, psychologist, or should be used as a hypnotist. The FBI also has trained agents who are responsible for setting up hypnosis sessions who coordinate FBI and health professional needs to offset the problem of witnesses who are in a suggestible hypnotic condition. The health professional explains the nature of hypnosis, some misconceptions, and what will happen during the session. Witness problems that may preclude hypnosis are explored before starting. Questions are asked based only on what witnesses remembered during the second phase. The witness is asked to relax and try to remember as much as possible about the incident. This phrase, when repeated, becomes the actual induction. The time involved, usually 1 to 3 hours, although the FBI does not intend hypnosis to replace normal investigative processes. Use of hypnosis can save manpower in investigation and might preclude stress amongst agents who, in undercover operations or other critical activities, a coordination checklist and footnotes are included. Okay, FBI referenced here as well. Okay. In addition, I read this article on May 15th, a guy from the Humane Slaughter Association bleeding, in particular as it relates to pigs. Okay. Bleeding. To prevent the risk of recovery, animals must be bled as soon as possible after stunning, ideally while still in rigid phase. Okay, and you can see that it's showing the ablator methods, cattle, deer, and horses. Bleeding should be carried out by an incision made with a sharp knife in the jugular furrow at the base of the neck, the knife being directed to the interest of the chest to sever all major blood vessels arising from the heart. And I'll skip this. There's several. All right. Internet reference information to the occult. Occult symbols from Wikipedia. And you can see what he's showing here with the hexagram and other symbols. Take particular note to the two at the bottom, if you don't mind, all my very good viewers here who've been here forever. Do me a favor, do me a little peeksy. Take a close look at the two at the bottom. The universal hexagram, Aleister Crowley's Thelema, and the Valgnut Norse mythological Odinist triangle, quote unquote. But look at that Thelema universal hexagram. Okay. And he's showing the Freemason symbols. Okay. Talking about the sex and the gavel, sect on the cross and the crown. Freemasonry proven to worship Satan. Okay. All right, so that's the Roy West letter. And I'm really glad that you all stuck around for that, because wasn't that incredibly thought-provoking? So I want to thank you for sticking around for that. I know that was quite a bit. I think that there's a handful of considerations in there that we need to take a look at, and it would benefit us to go back and deep dive into some of the brainstorming bullet points that he had. Was he also pushed aside and poo-pooed, similar to Todd Click, Greg Ferenczi, and Kevin Murphy? Where doesn't it seem like all the good cops feeding Jerry Holman were disregarded because Jerry Holman prefers the Twinkies, the donuts, hot dogs, Slurpees. He prefers not to consume accurate, vetted, verified information from the plethora of law enforcement officers who were pipelining information right into his lap. Jerry Doughboy Holman. Just another in the series of absolutely mind-boggling leads that were ignored. And hey, trust me, in time, you will be learning about so many more leads that were blatantly ignored. Okay, so let me do me a favor. Let please do me a favor and let me do the following for you because I want to share some things with you and do a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Jake Brooks for the super chat. Primetime Prof. I'd like to thank Granny D for the super chat. Thank you all, or thanks for all you bring to this. Thank you, Granny D. I want to thank Mr. Mark Ellis for the super chat. Prof, keep doing a good job on here. Thank you, Mark, and I will. Thanks to you and the other supporters, Mark. I want to thank I Am for the super chat. Hey, Prof, glad to be back. Took a break from Delphi. Glad to see you're still here. Well, thank you, I Am. That's a cute puppy. And I Am became a member. Look at the cute puppy. Let's see. Is that a Frenchie? What is? I can't tell. It's kind of little. Thank you very much, I Am. I really appreciate that support. And Mark, Granny D, Jake Brooks, everybody. I truly do appreciate the part. Okay, now, speaking of that, I want to share some things for you, especially for those of you who may be new or don't understand all that we got going on. Let me show you this. I currently have a GoFundMe going, okay? My GoFundMe is rolling here. It's called Support the Profs Podcast. True crime and news. I've raised $890, which makes us halfway to our first goal of $1,800. Okay, so I want to thank everyone who's visited this, but it's a GoFundMe, donate to Prof's podcast, True Crime News. And here you'll see, hi, I am the Prof. I run a podcast diving into current news stories, conspiracies, and true crime. I am in need of support to help me produce the next 6 months of content that I am very eager to achieve. Please consider supporting my family with a one-time donation or on an ongoing basis. And here you'll see me and my lovely son. Please support us. We are out here in this world making it on our own and trying our best to do what's right all the time. And that's the point of this GoFundMe, is to sustain us so that I can be freed up to focus a lot more on this podcast, because it's a difficult job. It's a difficult job, especially when a lot of your time is wasted all the time by people. But this is a difficult job, and I appreciate your engagement with the channel and any support you give, because me and my little family here, my little son is just the greatest, and we have the greatest time together in life and the greatest relationship. And he's so proud of his dad doing these podcasts. You know what he does, actually? He sets up he has a little tablet. It's actually a little tablet. Well, I'm not going to mention the brand, but he has a little tablet for him to do kids games. And he sets up his little tablet, and then he gets a lamp, and he shines it on himself. And he sits there and hits record, and he does pretend live streams. He calls them shows, because I call them shows to him. And he says, Dad, I'm going to do a show. And he goes talk to his tablet for 10 minutes. And that's how he imitates the old dad, because he loves his dad. And yeah, he's aware of what I do here when I do podcast, and he likes the lights and the bright shiny things, and he loves the tablet, the little computer. And so anyway, support our channel here. And there's another pathway here I want to show you, um, which is the link tree for all of my contact information. Okay, so if you want my contact information, I'll show it to you here. Let me zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, you see my link tree here? The first thing you'll see is the link to my YouTube. Then there's my Cash App, the GoFundMe, actually, the Buy Me a Coffee. Got a Venmo in case you want to support with Venmo. You can just click here on the Venmo. There's the memberships at YouTube if you want to become a member. There's the Substack linked up, the merch shop linked up, the official photography store. There's my Twitch channel, which we're going to talk about momentarily. Whoops. Where am I? I'm going to put this here. So that's the link tree if you need to catch my info. Let me see. I got to check something now. Give me a moment. All right. This is the link tree. And like I said, you can see here that it's got all the links you need, okay? Including my Twitter, my YouTube, and all the other stuff. So if you need me at Linktree, that's the link to the Linktree. And lastly, please go over to Twitch. Okay, this is the Twitch. We did one last night. My Twitch, I'm going to primarily do on Thursdays. So if you're not already subscribed at Twitch, please jump over there now and subscribe to the Twitch channel. It's called The Prof Allegedly. Okay, you go to Twitch. It's The Prof Allegedly. I don't know if someone can post this in the chat, but The Prof Allegedly at Twitch, we do live streams. It'll pop up here. Okay. Whenever I do a live, you'll see it here. It's a very fun place to do live streams. It has a really nice chat. And as you can see, I've only got 30 people over there subscribed up. So I'd love to have 300. So if you're able to, and you're watching, or if you're watching the replay, go find me at Twitch at The Prof Allegedly. I'd love to have you over there because we're going to do informal live chats over there where I don't necessarily bother with showing you presentations and all the rigmarole. We could do some more of just a chat. Okay, so we do live chats over there at Twitch. So please go to Twitch, The Prof Allegedly. Okay, really would appreciate having you as a member over there at Twitch. You will get notifications just like you did. It's just like YouTube, but it's even more fun because there's nice emojis and all that. So if you don't mind, and if you're interested, go try out something new at Twitch. It's fun over there. And we'll be doing at least on Thursdays. We may even do on the weekends. We may do 2 a week. But you'll find me over there at Twitch, okay? So really appreciate that. Now, I think we are all the way done with doing what we have to do here tonight. And I really appreciate you. I'll give you a few minutes. How about I do this? Let me give you 5 minutes to go over, click the link Dirty Diana just posted. Thank you, DD. So DD posted the link. You see Dirty Diana posted the link. You can click it, go over to Twitch, and just join up. It only takes a minute. And I'd appreciate having everyone watching now. We got 100 watching now. I'd love all 100 to go over there and subscribe to the Switch so you can at the Twitch so you can get your notifications. Okay, and you'll find me when I go live. Really appreciate having you over there. In the meantime, while you do that, I'm going to promote Diana's live and her channel because Diana is going to do a live tonight. She typically does lives on Friday nights after my live to have fun. So Diana's going to do a after show over on her channel, and also go subscribe to Oh Hey Christina. Maybe she'll put her link in the. Christina might put her link in the live chat. If you go click to oh hey Christina, she's got nice videos. She's going to be putting out more, and she's got a nice community page. So she really cares about Delphi. So go subscribe to Christina, go subscribe to Diana, and go subscribe and accept my Twitch challenge, which is go subscribe to my Twitch channel. So that's 3 subscriptions you need to go click on out right now before we get out of here. Gosh, I really do appreciate the chat tonight, because I know you guys were chatting it up, but I had to read. So I was super, super, super busy reading. So I didn't get too much of the chat read up, but I'll read it after. Okay, so when we're all done, I'll go read what you guys had to say tonight. There's Christina's channel. Okay, you click on Christina. Oh, hey, Christina, you'll go subscribe to her channel, and she's going to be updating videos and community posts. You'll like it, okay? Also, I know Rebecca Ann has a channel too. And like I said, go over to the Twitch, take the Twitch challenge. We got 5 minutes. Let me see how many I can see go sign up. I'm going to monitor. Let's see. We got 32. We're starting at 32. So let's see how many will go up. Already got somebody gone over. Thank you, whoever you are. Appreciate you going over there. So we got a subscriber on the Twitch. Oh, you know what I need to do? Every subscriber is going to get a bell. Let me ring a bell. You guys ready? Protect your hearing. Hearing alert. Okay, hearing alert. There we got one. I know it takes a minute to subscribe. Do we have another one? Do we have another one?
Bruh. I'm legally blind.
All right.
Oh my God. Bruh.
Oh, we got 2 more. Thank you so much. That's y'all getting over there. I really appreciate it.
Blind.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Do I owe another one? Let's see. I know Diana's setting up her stream. I appreciate that. Everybody go over to Twitch. So, go subscribe at Twitch. I appreciate you going over there. We'll have fun. Promise. Be nice to chit chat with you guys.
Bruh.
Oh, really? Not even one more? Come on, one more. Somebody go over there. Put your email in. Get your Twitch notifications.
Well, obviously, we have a rapist in Lincoln Park. He's climbing in your windows. He's snatching your people up, trying to rape them. So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband, because they raping everybody out here.
I'm legally blind.
All right, guys. So you guys doing good? I really appreciated the show tonight. Thanks so much for coming. That was really, really nice show. I appreciate it. Go download. If you need something, email me. Okay, email me. You can find it in the About Me section of the channel. If you need anything, email it to me. You need a document, email it to me. Anything you need, you just want to say hi, email me. Special shout out to the supporters tonight and the chat members. Anyone on the replay who's going to go subscribe to Twitch, leave a comment down below. Truly appreciate you. Now, everyone get their ass over to Diana's. All right, we're done here. Appreciate you guys. Have a blessed weekend. Get some rest. Enjoy yourselves. Call your family members. Say hi to your family. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being nice. Thanks, Miss Pie Crust. Thanks, Ninja Warrior Assassin. Thank you very much. Nicole Watt. Prof, you need one of the sweet brown. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right. Okay, Diana. She might not be starting immediately, but she'll be starting. So just go over and subscribe to her channel and you'll get the notification when she goes live. So thanks, Diana. We love you. Right. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you very much. Lisa. Heavy Metal Rehab. What's up? What's up, Heavy Metal? I didn't even say hi to you tonight. You snuck in when I was reading. Hey, Kay, you snuck in too, huh? You guys sneaking in when I'm reading. How am I supposed to say hi to you? See who else I missed. Jake Brooks. What's up, Jake Brooks? All right. Hey, Becky 333. B33. Oh, we got two more. Thank you very much. Now, okay, we got to 37. Thank you very much, whoever it is that went subscribe. I really appreciate that. You get the party horn. Okay, you get it.
Oh my God. Bruh. I'm legally blind.
Good job tonight. Thanks, everybody. Love you. We're out of here. Appreciate everybody who stuck around. Thanks for sticking around. Champs. Bunch of champs. All right. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone. Hey, Monkey Lady. I missed you. There you go. Monkey Lady, 86. I am. All right. Heavy Metal was here chatting it up. Muty Silence. What's up, Muty? Dr. Corbo was here. What's up, Doctor? Appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. I truly appreciate you, sir. Dieter, what up, Dieter? All right, Dieter. All right. I just love you guys so much. Thanks so much for being here. I'm out. Go check out Diana tonight. She's doing a late show. Hey, Barbara Borman. What up, Barbara? All right. It was nice to see everybody. Happy Friday. Again, happy weekend. God bless you. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
It was our job to help law enforcement.
Bruh.
Oh, we got another one.
I'm legally blind.